Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox, and this is Ivan. Okay. Hey, how do I want to start this video? There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on behind our scenes, right? We're not seeing the man behind the curtain, but the man behind the curtain sees us and has plans. I stick to my guns that Trump is not part of the greater evil system, and that's why they're trying so hard to derail him. The globalist elites are going to war with us. I believe we're already at war. It's going to get worse before it gets better, and so I want to talk to you about that in this video a little bit. Us going to war with the globalist elites. They have tactics that they use, right? One of them is they don't recognize the globalist elites. They don't recognize national borders. National borders are good for the little people, right? You know, get them all excited about this and everything, but they're not hindered by national borders. They jet set back and forth. They transfer money back and forth. They meet wherever and whenever they want. And they don't think of themselves as Americans or Germans or Vietnamese or Australians. They think of themselves as part of the elite. Right? And in fact they are. I mean, you know, just give them credit for what it is. I have said before, I've said it on this channel, I've said it on my blog, vikingpreparedness.blogspot.com. It's not active anymore, but all the stuff is there if you haven't read it before. I support nationalists of all stripes. You know, Vietnamese for Vietnam, Australians for Australia, Brits for Britain, Germans for Germany, you know, Ecuador for Ecuadorians. I support nationalists. In a lot of cases, nationalists are populists. And populists are people who rise up from the people. And usually in opposition to the globalist elites, right, that are up there. The powers that be that are in power. The Illuminati, the council of however many hundred you want. Trump in a lot of ways was that. And like I said, and I've done a couple takes on this video, so I don't know if I said it this one or not, but I believe Trump is not part of that elite. That's why they're trying so hard to get rid of him. So they use tactics against the little people, us. And one of their biggest tactics is divide and conquer. And they do that by setting one faction against another faction and then going and then also advancing their agenda through that conflict. Example, whites against blacks. Let's start some white against black riots. Well, now we have to make these extra rules, or now we have to arm our riot police, or now we have to get more MRAPs with 50 caliber machine guns, you know, whatever. They just use it as an excuse. Problem, reaction, solution, thesis, antithesis, synthesis. And so they do that kind of thing. They'll set, you know, Native Americans against whites, the evil whites that came and took everything. Dude, can you see what's happening? Most people cannot see what's happening because most people think emotionally. They don't think logically because our school system has morphed into this perfect thing of the state where we don't teach people to think anymore. It's just let's emote and get on Jerry Springer and laugh at stupid stuff and go, ooh, got you, man. And so we don't think, right? And so issues like Native American lands versus the evil whites that came and take them. Slavery versus the whites that had slaves. Hey, guess what? Some of you are going to emote right now. Those things don't matter anymore. Those things are so far in the past, it doesn't matter. But the globalists, the elites, use that to divide you and me. Another big divide. Liberals and conservatives, right? Go Trump! Go Hillary! Go Trump! Go Hillary! And then when Hillary loses, praise God, all these people are crying and saying they want to kill Trump supporters and let's figure out how we can kill Trump. I mean, that's been on the news, right? That there's actually people saying that. Obviously, I'm not one of them. I'm a Trump supporter. I don't believe in killing any political candidate. But people are out there, they're all emotional and they're not thinking because those people are going to have a knock on their door from some dudes in suits, right? And that's just going to go downhill from there. And so they're just emoting and they're crying and they're burning stuff in the street. And those people that they arrested in Portland, because they arrested several of the protesters, you know, most of them didn't even vote. They weren't even registered to vote. They're all being paid for by that globalist elitist, Soros, right? To just go out there. They don't give a darn. They're just getting paid $30 an hour, $15 an hour to go out there and tear stuff up, maybe get a new pair of shoes, right? But they're doing that dividing line between us and them. And the reality is we're all being played. We're all being played. Do you remember? Probably most of you don't. What was it? Some kind of WTO, World Trade Organization riots in Seattle. Man, back in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, somewhere in there, there were these big riots in Seattle, and all these anarchists were out there. And it got violent. And then the police had to come out, and because of that, police after action reviews, police got better armed, more MRAPs, more tear gas, more stun guns, more whatever. And it's been pretty proven that a lot of the instigators of that were government agents just spinning the thing up, right? Because it plays into the hands of the elitist to do that. And so you've got these anarchists versus these conservatives, these liberals versus these conservatives. And the reality is none of us like the globalists. But all of us are getting played. And so we have to open up our eyes and figure things out. So what is a defensive technique we could use? Even an offensive technique that we could use in that instance. How about love your fellow man? Go embrace that special snowflake who's crying about how Hillary lost and now she's under this woman hater Trump. And, just instead of scorning her, how about put your arms around her? Well, you probably can't do that because she'll call you some kind of masculine pig or something. See, I'm falling into it. But how about we all try to can't we all just get along? But seriously, there's something to that. Try to get along with your fellow proles, right? Proletariat. Try to get along with your fellow regular people, regardless of color, political orientation, or all that other stuff. All those divides that people are putting in between us, man, we got to get over that. Because is there a civil war coming to the U.S.? Maybe. I don't really see it, but if it is, neither side of that civil war is going to win. The powers that be are going to win. They have a plan, order out of chaos, right? Burn the thing down, and then we'll build what we want. It's getting out of hand. And that's the big deal. That's why I think we're going to war with the globalists. It's getting out of hand from their perspective. Look at all these nationalists rising up, not playing the game. Putin's not playing the game with the global elite. Trump's not playing the game with the global elite. Duarte's not playing the game with the global elite. Philippines. And there's others. Le Pen is looking like she's going to win big in France. Brexit. Oh my God. Brexit happened. They didn't want that to happen, and so they're in panic mode. And they're starting to do some things. And you need to be aware of this. I did not open the articles, but I've seen several, headlines and things. I don't have a Twitter account, but Twitter is starting to delete alt-right accounts. It's not just because Twitter is liberal. It's because right now the right, the conservatives, are really giving the globalist heck. And the liberal useful idiots aren't. They're just playing into their hands right now. So they don't have to mess with them, but the right wing is starting to get it. So they're just going to quiet them out. They're doing things on YouTube. It won't be long before you won't be seeing people like me and other people on YouTube, because they're just going to start making us shut up. They'll close our accounts or whatever because they don't like what we're saying. I'll be interested to see if they demonetize this video, right? I will, because I'm not playing along with the game. But they're squelching dissent. The EU is saying, they've gotten together and they're like, all right, we've got to deal with these people that are these populist elected leaders. We're not going to let them come to power. Huh. I thought Europe was the great democracy. If the people elect this person, what are they doing trying to shut them down? Also, Hillary supporters, you're all about democracy. You were all giving Trump a bunch of garbage when he said he wouldn't concede defeat unless he won. Well, that's horrible, man. That's never happened, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Hillary lost. Time to concede defeat, right? Time to get with the program. And so those types of things are happening. The internet is going to shut down as far as anything useful coming out. You cannot get anything useful on talk radio or MSM, what's on the TV and all that. That's all garbage, man. It's all just pure propaganda. And the thing is, most of y'all, because most of y'all are conservative who watch this, are thinking, yeah, but I can see the bias inherent in the system. Sounds like a Monty Python line. and I notice it when I see it. No, it's subtle. Just over time, it piles up, and one little chink comes out of your armor, and then another little chink. And before you know it, you don't even realize you've been morphed. You've been moved over to here. It's the whole left-right paradigm that we operate under. You know, at the far left is liberals, and on the far right is hardcore conservatives. And if you want to take it all the way out to far left, what would that be? Like communism, right? And all the way at the far right would be, and that's my right, would be fascism. Well, do you know, no matter which way you go to that way, you're moving towards totalitarianism, which plays into the hands of the global elite, right? Our founding fathers didn't look at the scale left, right. They looked at it total anarchy, total control, whether that be communism, fascism, which, you know, weren't terms then, but total monarchy over here, total anarchy over here. And our founding fathers kind of wanted us closer to the anarchy side. Don't tell me what to do, except in very small cases, right? But we all fall for the left-right paradigm, and we think those liberals are crap, and they think we're crap, and it just plays into their hands. So you need to start developing some alternative news sources. What are you going to do when the internet don't work, when, you know, if all it is wah, 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 coming out of the internet, your TV, and your radio? Those are useless sources. And so you're going to need to start thinking and acting locally. You need to get out and meet people and talk to people and have real conversations about what's going on. If you know ham radio people and they can talk to other ham radio people, that's cool. But get ready. You're starting to be played by all the media, including YouTube's coming next. You watch. You watch. They're going to control YouTube. They're controlling Twitter. They get rid of Facebook accounts. I'm not on Twitter or Facebook. But they're starting to clamp down because they're like, man, we got to get a handle on this, or these populists, it'll be like the French Revolution. These people are going to show up with pitchforks and burning torches, and, you know, they're going to chop off our heads. And they don't want that. So love your fellow man. Start developing other communication and alternative news means. And really that ties into the first one. Love your fellow man. Get out there and start talking to people. And finally, they're going to try and control people through resources. They really are. If you want this food, you got to jump to my tune. You got to get the mark of the beast. You got to come into the cabin. You got to come do this, that, or the other thing. Start learning how to take care of yourself, you and yours, medical, power, food, and on and on. If you like this, I'll do more. My dogs are barking. I got to go see what they're barking at. And start thinking, start acting. Love your fellow man. I'll see you out there.